Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today I'm bringing you a video because I just wanted to share with you all that I purchased a Kindle Paperwhite. This is actually my very first e-reader. I have never actually owned one before. But this is more like from the perspective of a reader who typically reads your traditional hardcovers, paperbacks, all of that stuff. Why did I end up purchasing the Kindle Paperwhite, and what kind of way do I see incorporating this into my reading repertoire? So if you're interested in that, stick around. So a couple weeks ago, I was actually on my Amazon account and looking through the Kindle Unlimited selections. I also have a Scribd account, and I have Prime Reading, and there's all these different types of venues and avenues I have where I could pick up an ebook, but the only way that I could potentially read them was on my phone. I used to have an iPad mini, but that was my first go at reading something through an ebook and e-reader type of format. I have to admit that that's not my preferred way to read things. As far as the screen goes, I don't like the light on the phone and the iPad for reading because it makes me feel like I am actually reading on a phone and an iPad, and I would prefer not to have that type of experience. I'm 33 years old and I would like to preserve my eyesight as much as possible, and I am definitely guilty of reading way too late in the evening or grabbing onto my phone. Well, your phone and the blue light background of your phone keeps you awake all night, and I actually need to sleep sometimes. So then I just was like, you know what, I've not really given this too much thought before. Let me take to Twitter and see what other people say. So I went on my Twitter page, @whatcassread, and just put the question out there, and I got a bunch of responses from a lot of you. And it was really helpful to hear, like, how do you incorporate an e-reader into your busy reading life? We can see that I've got shelves back there, I've got some shelves over here. They're chock full of books, and I don't anticipate getting rid of a bunch of books anytime soon or only having something that is like ebook accessible, but I wanted to see, like, how do readers such as myself incorporate all of these different things into your busy reading lifestyle. There are some responses in terms of like the physical strain of holding a book. For certain people, they can only read on a Kindle. For certain people, it's a matter of being able to read late at night without straining your eyes, and utilizing the different functions that way. Or certain other people were like, well, I can read as late at night as I want and not disturb my partner who's sleeping next to me, which are all things that actually affect me. My husband sleeps next to me and he goes to bed like that. But if I have my light on the whole time, he'll wake up maybe an hour or two into his sleep cycle and then be like, why do you still have the light on? Why are you still awake? Obviously he knows I'm reading, but as a courtesy, you know, I want to be nice to my partner. Sometimes I also wake up in the middle of the night and I cannot sleep, so then I pick up my phone and go on Twitter, which is the worst idea possible, but that blue light will wake me up. And so I've had some people who are like, it's just so easy to read with the light off. With the backlight of a Kindle, you don't have to turn your light back on to read and start getting back into the sleep, your sleep mode. For me, I sleep much better when I actually read before bed. It's just this like ritual that I have that I think allows my brain to get into that space to begin falling asleep. And I feel like since I've owned the Kindle so far, that has been helpful for me. So I've only owned this for a couple of weeks. I have just a small magnetic case. The case that I got is actually kind of cool because it's like magnetic, and it's like this origami case that turns into its own stand, and then it magnetizes closed. Not having to have to carry a big gigantic book with me out and about, this can fit into my purse right next to my phone and right next to my keys. And there's been so many different times where I am traveling and I'll go on a road trip or go on a flight, and my whole carry-on is filled with all the books that I plan on reading on that vacation. And you know, having something like this would greatly cut down on all the weight and all the space that I end up taking up with all of the books that I bring. I chose the Kindle Paperwhite particularly. I just figured if I was going to spend the money, I might as well go up to the next tier, the Paperwhite, and have the waterproof security to it. I don't have this particularly bright. You can see I am on chapter 29 of Crooked Kingdom right now. This is what I'm currently reading. I can tell you right now that looking at this screen, aside from the fact from holding it, my brain would never really know that I'm not reading a physical book. I do have the light setting pretty low. Sometimes in the middle of the night, then I'll just conveniently switch it over to dark mode so then I can not strain my eyes even further. I currently have it set on airplane mode, so I'm not like constantly searching on Wi-Fi, and the only times that I really turn the Wi-Fi on are if I would like to purchase a book. As far as holding this like comfortably while I'm reading, there's still a lot of things that I'm getting used to. Sometimes like I'll just hold it like this. Sometimes I'll rest it on me. I don't find that I'm accidentally shutting it off with the power button being on the bottom. I'll say this, if you are a lefty, like myself, I'm left-handed, and so for people when they want to page forward, they just click on the right side of the screen and it'll automatically page forward for you. For a lefty, I just have to kind of get around that. I do actually have to swipe with my thumb. It's more of a mechanical movement on my left hand's part, if anything. Another thing is when I'm in bed, sometimes I'm just like, I have it laying down on the bed next to me, and I'm just like a side sleeper, so I just have this like right on the bed, right on the mattress, and then I can just like touch the screen when I'm ready for the next page. I think eventually this will allow me to really take a good chance at like unhauling some books that I've just been like holding on to for the sake of holding on to them. But if I can get an e-book version of a book instead of a physical copy that I'm like maybe wishy-washy on, that I think is gonna like save so much room on my shelves in the future. So I know the nosy of you, there are some people who are nosy and want to know, what do I have on my Kindle? And perhaps when I have more on here, then I can do like a whole Kindle tour. I did want to show you that I picked up this tip from Mike's Book Reviews, and I actually have the books that I have purchased in categories, and I've categorized them by author, which has been making like it really easy for me to sort through my library. Instead of just seeing all the covers, I can just sort by author. Yeah, so that was a tip that I picked up from him. When you have them all sorted and categorized like this, it's less pretty. If the aesthetics are important to you, it's less pretty. So yeah, if you're nosy and want to know, I did end up purchasing Gideon the Knight. That was on there for a pretty affordable price. And then there's just a bunch of things that I could potentially borrow off of the Amazon Reading or the Kindle Unlimited or library, or I don't think Scribd can access this. That was something that a lot of people told me about. Yeah, so that's just how I have it organized right now. And then as I pick up more books, then I can do maybe a Kindle Paperwhite tour. All right, so yeah, this was just a really rambly video. If you don't follow me on social media, you would have never known that I had purchased a Kindle Paperwhite. If you need some like actual reviews to go to, if you're like on the fence about purchasing a device like this, I'm gonna link down Mike's Book Reviews review of the 2 different Kindles that he has down below, because like you can get all the tech specs, but you want a reader's perspective. If you're on like a booktube channel, you want the reader's perspective. But anyways, super casual video. Let me know what you think of all of this down in the comment section below. If you want to follow me on my social media, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at whatcassread. It's the same as this channel, so it should be super easy for you to find. And then of course my Goodreads link is always listed and linked down below for you. And then you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.